And say an official good afternoon to everyone joining us today. I hope that it's early August as we're recording this live. I hope your summer reading events are wrapping up nicely, or they have already wrapped up, and you're here to think about some new things like baby bounces. So this will be a lot of fun. Janae, I know, had fun putting this one together, and I had fun helping her with the description. And I think we're in for a treat today. So we're at Pop OS Live. It is August 9. And Janae, I will turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. And thank you, everyone, for attending. Welcome to Baby Bounce Basics. I got to tell you, Sam came up with the awesome name of Baby Bounce Basics. Don't you just love the alliteration, the repetition?
Yeah. I'm a little proud of that alliteration. That's pretty good. Although I don't want to give any spoilers, but hang on, folks, till you find out about October's Pop YS Live, or November. Which one?
October. Or actually, no. Yeah, well, September.
September is full of alliteration. So I will leave Janae full credit for that one, however.
Awesome. So we're going to get started with our Baby Bounce Basics webinar today. And we're going to go to my slides. And for those of you that don't know, my name is Janae Jackson Doring. I am the Youth Services Consultant for the State Library of Iowa. There's my email address and my phone number. So please contact me with any youth-related questions or concerns, or everything from collection development to programming, story time, you name it. I am here to help. So there's my contact information. And there's a picture of me, yours truly, as a baby. I don't know why my mom put me in an ugly bonnet, but I don't like that bonnet. I guess that's a rite of passage for a baby, is to have a bonnet, but that is me as a baby. So just something fun to share with you guys. But if you have any youth-related questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to talk to you or come out to your library. So first, I would like to throw out a Zoom poll to you guys, a question for you. I would like to see, with the help of Sam will get this out for me. For the poll, how many of you are conducting a baby story time now? I'd just like to see. So feel free to answer that poll.
This is just about split perfectly here. I'm going to give it just 10 more seconds. Got a lot of people participating. This is way more evenly divided than I thought it would be.
Wow, yeah. Olivia says, baby time is my favorite. I love it.
Nice.
So looks like, yeah, it is kind of almost an even split. I'm seeing 52% of you guys are saying, yes, you currently conduct a baby story time, and 48% says no. Brianna from Clear Lake says, baby time is our most well-attended program. That's awesome. And for those of you that do not conduct a baby story time, maybe this will give you some insight on how to develop a baby story time. Do you want me to push the stop sharing button, Sam?
And I was muted, sorry, but I just got that turned off for you.
Awesome, thank you. So what is our plan? So our plan today, we're going to talk about why conduct a baby story time and the ages and stages of infant development. I'll share a little bit of info for that. We will talk about the story time format and maybe some props to consider when having a baby story time. We'll also share what books and themes to choose from. And we'll talk about what is a lap bounce. And I will have some lap bounce demonstrations with some fun pieces to share with you today, and some best practices for lap bounces. We'll also talk about playtime, because everybody, children, babies, they learn best through playtime. I'll share some parting thoughts and some resources. So why conduct a baby story time at your library? And when we talk about baby story time, for the age range, I say roughly ages 0 to 18 months for a baby story time. So I just wanted to throw those parameters out there. So why hold a baby story time? Because story times are for babies too. We want to welcome families to your library. When you hold a baby story time at your library, you are telling families with babies and young children that the library is a place for them. And baby story times are a great way for parents to connect to other caregivers. And welcoming them into your library for a baby story time, you are building lifelong relationships, and it makes your library an important part in their lives and in the lives of your community. With baby story times, you are sharing the 5 early literacy skills. And those 5 early literacy skills are critical for child development. We are teaching skills of read, play, sing, write, and talk. Baby story times, these help build language skills. We want to encourage families to talk to their babies. Babies are learning words, and they're learning the sounds of words, repetition of words through those 5 early literacy skills. So we want to build those language skills. We want to encourage parents and caregivers to read to their babies, because it's, again, building language, it's building a love of literacy, and sharing a shared experience. And birth to age 3 has the fastest rate of brain development. Children are learning new words every day. So we want to have a story time that helps them in that development. So we're going to talk now about the ages and stages of infant development. And I just focused on a year, the year of a baby. So 0 to age 1. The information that I took is from pathways.org. If you get a chance, go on pathways.org. They have a list of all the developmental milestones for babies to older children. It is a great resource, so definitely check it out. But for ages 0 to 3, so ages 0 to 3, these are some of the things you will see with babies. They are showing interest in faces and other faces. They love to coo and they smile. They love to smile. They turn heads towards sounds or voices. They move their legs and arms off of a surface when they're excited. And they love to be calmed with rocking, gentle sounds and touch. For ages 4 to 6-month-olds, you have babies that are using both of their hands to explore toys, because children use their senses. They bring hands and objects to their mouths. They use babbling or sounds to express their feelings or get attention of a caregiver. With 7 to 9-month-olds, they are recognizing the sound of their name. They may recognize simple gestures. They may give simple gestures. So shaking their heads no, or not, or shaking their heads no, or nodding their heads yes. They're also imitating sounds. So they may hear the sound of mom or dad talking and they're imitating it. And for ages 10 to 12-month-olds, they are showing that they can clap their hands. They can respond to simple directions. So if a child is listening to mom and mom says, come here, they are able to respond to that direction. 10 to 12-month-olds are starting to say 1 or 2 words, and they are imitating speech sounds. So again, that language development is starting to come into play, and we want to be a language builder for children. So we're going to talk now about the story time format and props to consider. But before I go into the storytime format, I just want to say that babies develop at very different stages. So keep that in mind when you are holding your baby story time. You'll have different ages and stages of baby and infant development. So let's talk now about storytime format. And I love this slide because I think of a storytime format as kind of a puzzle. And you basically are putting your format together. You're putting everything together to make it work. I like to have for baby story time roughly 15 to 20 minutes and make this your own. I have a template here as my format. You do not have to follow this format. You can change it any way you want, depending upon your community. So please keep that in mind. Your format can be very different. So again, look at your community, look at your parents and caregivers. What is going to be the best storytime format for your group? So with a storytime format, you have your opening song. After you welcome friends and you greet them, you may have an opening song that says, "Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you? How are you? Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you today?" It's nice to have an opening song to get everyone situated and getting ready for story time. The next thing I'd like to have is an action song. And what do I mean by action song? Something that helps parents with their babies. They're moving to a song or an activity. So like patty cake, patty cake, patty cake, baker's man, or the wheels on the bus. That's where you have actions directed in the song. So that's what I mean when we have an action song. Then you could go into your first book. Then we'll have a lap bounce. You could have a second lap bounce or a nursery rhyme like the Itsy Bitsy Spider. You could have a second book after that. Then another lap bounce or a nursery rhyme. And a closing song is great because that directs families to tell them that story time is now ending and we are going to transition to playtime. And closing songs can be very simple. You could have a nursery rhyme like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star to end your closing song. It can be very, very simple. And then after your closing song, offer a playtime. It is a must that you offer a playtime because you want to give that time for socialization between mom, dad, caregiver, and baby, and just having social time for parents to connect with other parents as well. And we'll go into that in a little bit. So with story time, also consider having some props during your baby story time. These are a couple of props you can have. These at the top of your page are hand puppets. This is a Cute Critters glove puppet set from lakeshorelearning.com. I had this at my previous position and I ordered some for a baby storytime kit, but I love these because they're very small. You can put them on your hands and it's a great way to greet families when they're entering the library, or if you want to conduct the Itsy Bitsy Spider and use a puppet spider, it's great to use. And I also would let parents after story time, during playtime, I would let them put them on and let them play with the baby with the puppets. So hand puppets are something to consider. That set at the top, the Cute Critters glove puppets, those were $39.99 at lakeshore.com because I know people will ask for prices. Down below, we have scarves. Definitely consider having scarves as props for story time. Scarves are great for playing peekaboo. So definitely consider having some scarves. Maybe you might consider egg shakers, so that way the babies can hold and shake the eggs. So these are just a couple of things to consider when you want props for your story time. And while I'm talking about props, I would just like to know, what are your favorite baby storytime props for those who are conducting a story time. Answer in the chat. I'm going to take a peek real quick. Let's see. I see sensory bottles. Excellent. And Sue says, I love Lakeshore Learning for my playtime items. Absolutely. I love Lakeshore Learning. Looks like sensory bottles. Parachute. Yes, you can use a parachute for baby story time as well.
Janae, can you explain what a sensory bottle is? This is not what I know.
Yeah. So sensory bottles are clear bottles. They have sometimes water, glitter, little fake stars, little kind of tiny to big toys that you can put inside a bottle. And you basically turn the bottle from left to right. And it's just a nice calming activity. They're very, very, very cool. You can make them. There's directions online, lots of Pinterest activities on how to make your own sensory bottles. Lakeshore actually sells sensory bottles, but they don't have liquid in them, but they are durable. They won't break. They're super cool, and it's super calming for baby.
That's fun. Yeah, I love the idea of making it yourself to see if it goes okay and your people like it, and then maybe buying some higher quality ones. Here's a good point in the chat from Christy about sensory bottles, which is to super glue the caps on. And I could see that for sure. Good tip, Christy.
Yeah, you want to make sure, definitely use that super glue, because you'll have a hot mess and it's just really disgusting. So definitely get that super glue. Other comments I see, scarves. Christy says scarves are huge with the littles. Wonderful. Looks like Minsu says she alternates between shakers and scarves each week and just started incorporating parachutes. Wonderful. And let's see. Oh, and there's great recipes for sensory bottles on Pinterest. Definitely. Laura says puppets. Puppets are great. Absolutely. And they're great to incorporate with the books and songs. Scarves. And Brianna says we use scarves and shakers with bumps on them to help them with grasping. Exactly. I'll get into that in a little bit. She bought them on Amazon, and puppets almost every week. And sometimes I'll get play items related to the theme, like small pumpkins during fall. I love it. Teresa uses a felt board. Yes. Shaky eggs. You can't go wrong with shaky eggs. So those are some great examples of props that you can use for your baby story times. I love it. Oh, and Sherry Hopkins says sensory bags with rice and hair gel. And Sam, and for those of you that don't know what a sensory bag is, basically it's just taking a Ziploc baggie and making sure it's sealed really good after you do this, but putting some clear hair gel and some different types of plastic toys and sealing it so it can be a sensory activity for baby and toddler as well. A stuffed friend, Teresa Jack says, a stuffed friend for those slightly older kids. Exactly. Awesome. So some other best practices for baby story time to consider. Definitely be prepared for older children. And what do I mean by older children? Ideally, you want to be prepared for siblings, sometimes older kids that are out of school for a holiday, homeschool families and homeschool children. You want to be prepared. Sometimes those older kids have to attend with their caregiver and the baby to story time. Sometimes you might have an older child, maybe a 2.5-year-old to 3-year-old, for example, and it might be their only time that they can make to go to story time. It might be the only time that they can come, and that's okay. It's just the way and flow of life for parents, and we should be accommodating and welcoming them. Some other things not to do for best practices during baby story time. Don't try to direct the playtime. Babies will basically find what they want to play with, whether it's the toy that's right next to them and they're trying to reach it, or a block. Let them explore. They are using their senses and they want to play. So let's give them that autonomy to play. And don't center or defer to older children when reading a story. We just want everyone to have a welcoming open experience with baby story time. So we are going to move to what books and themes do I choose? Because it's hard. It's hard to pick what to choose for a baby story time. But I hope with these resources that I'm offering, I hope this will make your planning process a lot smoother. One thing to keep in mind is high contrast board books. These are different from regular board books because with high contrast board books, babies are able to focus on Black and white illustrations. Why are we focusing on Black and white illustrations for babies? Because it will help strengthen their vision and it will boost their concentration skills. So when you expose babies to contrasting images, it has a positive impact on the development of visual, spatial skills, and recognizing new objects. So when babies are first born, they can't distinguish between colors the same way that older babies can. I've read a couple different studies, and they are showing that babies can see high contrast Black and white shapes and patterns from the very first days of life. So consider when you're planning your stories, consider selecting high contrast board books because it's helping babies develop their optic nerves. The black and white lines, they serve as an optical stimulant and they encourage cognitive development. They're encouraging and strengthening their focus. These three books at the bottom are some of the books I like the best. I love Destructibles. Destructibles are my favorite because they literally say what they mean. They are indestructible. You can try to rip them, tear them, break them, and they will stay intact. And you can throw them in the washing machine as well to clean them. But I love indestructible books, and they just came out with some high color, high contrast books. And that's one of them is Hear the Sounds. Hello Baby Animals. That's a very cute high contrast book with different types of animals. And Baby Sees First Colors. These are great additions to have for a story time or to recommend to parents who are looking for books for their newborns or newborn to about 5 months for baby. Also, board books. Consider board books. Why board books? Because they are short stories and they are aimed just for babies. And for parents, when they check out board books, it allows for exploration. The babies can turn the pages, they can chew the book, they get to feel how the book turns from left to right. So we definitely want to consider using board books in our story times. A couple things I love with board books. I love books that have mirrors in them. Why mirrors? Because when I get up to show the mirror, I get to show the baby looking in the mirror. Babies love to see themselves in mirrors. They love the facial expressions. They just love seeing themselves in a mirror. So this bottom book that says, Who Says I Love You? In the back of it is a mirror. And after I would read that story, I would get up and I would go to each family and show the baby in the mirror, looking at themselves in the mirror, and they would smile, they would coo, they would laugh. So consider using books that have mirrors in the back of the story. This book at the top right, it's called Where's the Cat? I love that series. They have several called Where's the Cat, Where's the Owl, Where's the Dog, etc. But I love those books because they have large flaps. So it'll say, Where's the cat? And it might be hiding underneath a felt chair, and you lift the felt chair and nope, it's not the cat, it's a fish. But I love those big flaps because it shows baby, cause and effect. If I take down this flap, I'll see an image. Again, you're teaching babies cause and effect with those flaps. So select books that have big flaps in them. Also, Nursery rhymes. You definitely want to have some nursery rhymes in your baby story time or baby rhyme time, because nursery rhymes helps them hear words. They are rhyming words. They're hearing those words and how they sound. But these are just four of one of my favorite books. Definitely at the top, The Baby Goes Beep. If you've never read The Baby Goes Beep, it's one of my favorites. And The Wheels on the Bus. This version is illustrated by Annie Kubler. I love Annie Kubler's board books. That whole series is nothing but nursery rhymes that Annie puts together. And there's different kinds. There's I'm a Little Teapot, Wheels on the Bus, Patty Cake, you name it. She's created a nursery rhyme board book for it. So definitely check out board books for your baby story time. Also, consider pop-up books, picture books, and oversized books. Why do I say this? Because pop-up books and oversized books, they allow for baby to pay attention to books. So having those kind of big images, it'll help focus their attention to the story and to the pictures. And while I say this, I also want to add to be conscious of your caregivers, especially with picture books. Just be conscious of them. And when you're looking through picture books to select for your baby story time, really read that story and determine if the book is maybe too complex in terms of length, plot, etc. We want our stories to be short because babies' attention spans are short. So really focus on selecting short stories that will help with your baby story time. To theme or not to theme? Sorry, I just had to throw that in there. I just love that title. So that's the question. Do you have a theme or do you not have a theme? Themes can be helpful. They are sometimes helpful because they provide a framework to build your programs. So let's say you have a farm story time. That gives you a theme. Okay, I'm going to pick 5 Little Ducks Go Quack, Quack, Quack. Or I'm going to pick I Went Walking by Sue Williams and put together a story time. So themes can help you get started, get your brain thinking about what kinds of things to add for a baby story time. But don't get trapped in them. And don't try to make something fit just because, oh yeah, I've got a dog story time and I'm going to make sure this fits. I'm going to make sure this rhyme fits, even though it's way too long. Don't get trapped in a theme just because something might be cute and you're trying to fit it in there. Don't get trapped. So use them as a framework. Don't get trapped in them. Because quite frankly, babies don't care about a theme. Babies don't care if your story time is about kittens. They don't care if your story time is about a zoo. They just want to hear a story. They want to have a positive experience between you, the caregiver, and the stories and activities you're providing. And really, focus on the language development. Focus on building those words and language for caregivers and for babies, and really saying nursery rhymes to build that language development. So what's a lap bounce? Some people have asked, what's a lap bounce? I don't know what a lap bounce is. A lap bounce does several things. A lap bounce moves little ones to the rhythm of words. Now, I did some research on this and I learned so much about lap bounces. According to Kinder Music, when we bounce babies on our lap, we help them to develop awareness of a steady beat. So when babies are in the womb and they're growing, they hear the steady heartbeat of mom. During a lap bounce, parents and caregivers can help babies feel a steady beat from the bouncing. And this helps their future language development as they will be better able to recognize patterns in language. And specifically, bounces stimulate the vestibular system, which controls the eye coordination, posture, and equilibrium, and the position and movement of our head. So when parents, and then I have a baby here, not a real baby, but our friend here, Rita. So when parents bounce a baby on their lap, the vestibular system sends information to the brain. It processes that information and enables their eyes to focus on a moving target. It trains babies to keep their balance during the movement, which is the same skill that will help them when they start to read words in a book. So a lap bounce can do all of this. It helps babies hear the smaller parts of words. It also builds phonological awareness skills. And phonological awareness is the ability to recognize and manipulate the spoken parts of sentences and words. It also creates a positive experience for baby and caregiver. And it allows caregivers to cuddle with baby. So, and I know Sam's been excited for this. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to have some lap bounce demonstrations and best practices. It is very, very critical to practice lap bounces. And today, I don't have babies with me, but I have two very special guests. This is Rita. This is a baby doll that Marianne Morey, the district consultant, let me borrow. And I have a stuffed toy Chewbacca, courtesy of Sam Bowers. Thank you, Sam. So I'm going to show you two bounces that I love to do. These are my two favorite, and I'm going to move my camera here. Can you guys see this? So see the Chewbacca okay? Can you tell me in the comments? Jessica says, I hold a baby doll. Absolutely. Olivia says, yes. Wonderful. So this is the first bounce that I would love to do when I was conducting baby story time. It's called Baka soda cracker. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Are you familiar with Baka soda cracker? Some say yes. Okay. Yes, but only his head until you lift him. Oh, okay. Let's see. Is that better? Oh, yes. Okay, it's better. And Olivia says we do icky bicky too. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to say the bounce for you, and I'm going to repeat it twice. And it goes like this. Baka soda cracker, baka boo. Baka soda cracker, I love you. Baka soda cracker, baka boo. Baka soda cracker, up goes you. Up goes you. Baka soda cracker, I love you. So that is Baka soda cracker. It's one of my favorites, but I'll repeat it one more time. Baka soda cracker, baka boo. Baka soda cracker, I love you. Baka soda cracker, baka boo. Baka soda cracker, up goes you. Up goes you. Baka soda cracker, I love you. Yay! Wonderful, wonderful. Sherry Hopkins is saying, can we get the words to the bounce? Yes, you can. And I will have these slides for you right after the program. So yes, absolutely. The second bounce that I like to use, and Samantha says, yay, Janae and Chewy. The second bounce I like to use is called Let's Go Riding in an Elevator. And this is Rita, and pronounced R-E-A-D-A. It's spelled R-E-A-D-A. Get it? Rita? Very cool, huh? And Sherry says, thank you. Absolutely. So the second bounce is called Let's Go Riding in an Elevator. And so you're going to bounce baby on your lap. And it goes like this. Let's go riding in an elevator. Let's go riding in an elevator. First floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor, down, 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 down. Yeah. All right. We're going to do it one more time. If you guys have a doll or a stuffed toy with you, or if you just want to pretend you have a baby, let's say it together. Are you ready? Are you ready, Rita? All right. Here we go. Let's go riding in an elevator. Let's go riding in an elevator. First floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor, and down, 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 down. Yay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Excellent. So those are my two favorite bounces that I love to do. So best practices for lap bounces. I'm going to move my camera real quick. My advice, practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. So if you're in the meeting room or at your desk, or there's nobody around at the circulation desk, practice, practice, practice. In the break room, in the car, wherever. Practice those rhymes, practice those songs, practice those bounces. It'll just make you a stronger presenter for your families. Use a baby doll or a stuffed toy. Will you feel kind of silly? Yes, it's okay. It is totally fine. I mean, it may seem uncomfortable, but it's okay. Just get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It is okay to use a baby doll or a stuffed toy to demonstrate the lap bounces. Repeat the bounce. I repeat it twice, and Teresa says in the comments, she tries to repeat the rhyme 3 times. Yes, repetition is important. It's important for parents and caregivers to learn those rhymes, because we want them, when they're home or in the car or at school with baby, we want them to remember those rhymes so that way they can practice with their baby and they're building those language skills wherever they are. And post the words of bounces or nursery rhymes on a board or easel. That way your families can learn the words and read the words, and that way they can repeat those bounces at home. And looks like Phyllis says to the hosts, you do that one differently than I do. It's one of my favorite, it's one of my every week ones. It's a crowd favorite. Yes. And that's a good point. Bounces, everyone conducts a bounce differently. That is okay. There's no perfect right or wrong way to conduct a lap bounce. It is totally fine. So thank you, Phyllis. And after story time, of course, you got to have playtime. Everyone loves playtime. And it's wonderful to offer that time for caregivers to play with their babies and also have some socialization, whether it's talking with their babies or reading a board book with baby after playtime, or just, talking with different caregivers. It's just a wonderful time to have some socialization for everyone. And looks like Nicole says, I love doing slides for story time too. Yes, I did do slides for some of the older kids and baby story times too. I'm going to move my camera. Sorry, I have my camera all over. With playtime, I like to set out different size, textures, and colors of blocks. You want to have different kinds of blocks available because you have again, ages 0 to 18 months coming into your library for baby story time. So offer a wide variety of blocks for them to play with. So we have 4 different types of blocks. You want to make sure you show babies how to stack them, tap the blocks, and grasp the blocks. Usually it's between 7 to 9 months is the age range where babies start to actually tap them, knock them down. So definitely have time to show them how to stack, how to tap a block, how to grasp it. When you put out blocks for babies, you're helping them build their gross and fine motor skills, and that's perfect for their development. You're also strengthening their hand and eye coordination. And down at the bottom are different types of blocks that I have used. At Lakeshore Learning, the bottom right, the soft blocks with mirrors are great. I mean, they can chew them, they can look at themselves in the mirror, again, because babies love mirrors. These are fun and safe blocks for kids to play with. In the bottom right corner are the soft and safe building blocks. I used to have those at the Central Library. Those are perfect for babies. They are soft enough, they're big sizes, just very fun for young children. Melissa and Doug also has a really cool match and roll shape sorter set. It's blocks of different shapes, and those are cool to use. And also that next to the Melissa and Doug is the kids match and build soft blocks. So again, all different types of blocks that you can provide for your babies for their development. And I'm seeing a question in the chat. How do you clean your soft blocks? Everything goes in mouths. Yeah, oh yeah. So these soft and safe building blocks, I had wipes. I had Clorox wipes. I wiped those blocks. Absolutely. And the soft and safe building blocks are so cool. They're really, really just durable, very durable material, but I would wipe them with a Clorox wipe and they were good to go. You also want to select easy to clean toys. So scarves, you can give them out for peekaboo if parents want to play peekaboo, and just wash them in the washing machine. The baby band rhythm set, I ordered this at Lakeshore Learning as well. I love those because they're small enough for babies' hands that they can shake and rattle the bells, and they can rattle the little beads inside, and easily to wipe down, easily to clean. There you go. We also had stuffed toys. So if you have any stuffed toys in the back of your children's area, grab those stuffed toys out. Let parents play with the stuffed toys with their children. I also like hand puppets. I think parents, when they put on a hand puppet, they love it. And it's fun. Especially, I love this Melissa and Doug Farm Friends hand puppet set because you're imitating animal sounds. So that way they can learn the sounds, because again, you're building language development. What sound does the horse make? Hey, what sound does the pig make? You're giving parents the autonomy so that way they can teach their children those sounds. So definitely consider having some hand puppets of different animals. These are all fun things you can do for a baby story time. And bubbles. Who does not love bubbles? I love bubbles. And babies love viewing bubbles. So if you'd like, you can consider ordering a bubble machine, having a bubble machine after story time for playtime. This one is the VFun Batteries Bubble Machine. I have to remember, when I was at my previous position, I had the older version and it died. And then before I left, I bought a brand new one. And this was the one that I ordered, and because it had a remote. So that way I could turn the machine on and off. But it was super cool. It was super awesome. This was $35.99 on Amazon. If you don't want to order a bubble machine, maybe consider buying some bottles of bubbles. So that way you can have them for caregivers to blow. to blow bubbles with their children. Other playtime tips that I liked having calm music for playtime. I had a CD player with music CDs, or if you don't like music CDs, having a playlist on your phone. I had Disney lullabies sometimes playing for baby story time, for playtime. Just a nice way to have a calming space for caregivers and babies, because with such loud music, it's just kind of, if it's overwhelming for you, it's overwhelming for them. So really have a calm space, have some calm music for playtime. I like to set out board books for caregivers after playtime, or I had them on display on a counter. So if their babies didn't want to play, they would grab a board book, they could read it to their baby during playtime, and they could check it out. So think about setting out some board books for caregivers to read. And this is a biggie. Have a sanitized bucket, or I call it a yucky bucket, because we know babies put things in their mouths. It's gross. We get it. Have a sanitized bucket to clean those dirty toys. And order baby wipes. I like to have baby wipes because sometimes you just have a mom that, oh my gosh, I ran out of baby wipes and I need to clean my child's face. Do you have a baby wipe? And I would have a baby wipe for them. And have Clorox wipes or sanitizing spray after story time, after playtime. When everyone is done, everyone has left, you have time to wipe those toys, or have an adult volunteer wipe those toys, or a teen volunteer wipe those toys. Put on some gloves, let them wipe the toys, let them air dry, and there you go. Also, something to tell you, if you don't know, we do have a baby story time startup kit here at the State Library of Iowa. You can request it with your public libraries card. It comes to you via Iowa Shares. You can have it for 5 weeks, test it out, start a story time at your library. And when you're all done, you just put everything back in the kit, send it back to us. And we are working on getting more kits developed. So stay tuned for more info on that. And finally, I just have some parting thoughts. Just baby story times are trial and error. Not everything's going to work the way you want it to. Sometimes things happen, and that's okay. So really plan for your patrons and plan for the unexpected. Practice your songs, your rhymes, your bounces. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel when you go to present your story times. And encourage parents to talk with their babies to build that language. So those literacy tips, when you are having playtime, say some literacy tips. Oh, did you know when you blow bubbles, your mouth is forming the letter O when you blow bubbles? That's important for when you go to say the letter O and recognize letter O. So really share those literacy tips. Encourage your parents to talk with their babies at home, in the car, everywhere, because you're building that language. Be flexible. Things happen. It's okay. Just be flexible. Not everything is going to go right. That it's just the way of life, and that's okay. And have fun. Have fun with it. Babies are so sweet. They are adorable. So really have fun with your story times. These last 2 slides that I have are storytime resources. Jbrary.com is a wonderful resource. It's developed by these 2 youth librarians, and they have so many bounces. They have so many baby resources on there, especially for beginners on how to begin a baby story time. So definitely check out jbrary.com. Abby, the librarian, I posted her What I Do at Baby Storytime article. That is the web link for that. Storytime Katie has a great article about baby story times. Also, definitely check out Every Child Ready to Read. That's developed by the Public Library Association. to talk about read, write, sing, play, and talk. They have great resources on that website. I also recommend the Association for Library Service to Children blog. There's an article about the benefits of story time for babies that you can take a peek at that article. If you are interested about the developmental milestones for babies and children, pathways.org has a great section all about the different types of developmental milestones. We're talking sensory, cognitive, all different types of milestones for children. And their website, they talk with the American Academy of Pediatrics. So they share information with that source as well. So that would be a wonderful resource for you. And if you are stuck on lap bounces and you're like, I don't know what other bounces to come up with, I got you covered. Jayberry has a really cool YouTube playlist of baby time story resource bounces. So you can look at their videos to see how they demonstrate the bounces. So that way you feel confident, you can practice, and you can learn those bounces. Book Cart Queens has an article, it's called Storytime Baby Bounce or Movement Rhymes. She has lots of different rhymes and bounces that you can view on that website, the link below. Mother Goose on the Loose. I don't know if you're familiar with Mother Goose on the Loose. That program was developed by Dr. Betsy Diamond Cohen, and she put together this wonderful program that focuses on rhymes and songs and bounces just for babies to help with their language development. That link will take you to the YouTube playlist of all of her lap bounces and rhymes. It's a great program, so really check into Mother Goose on the Loose. It's fantastic. And the last source I have is Suraj Goting. She is a former early childhood literacy consultant. She actually presented in 2016, I think, for the State Library of Iowa about early literacy in story times. She has a website, earlylit.net/storytime-resources. That site has a great list of lap bounces and nursery rhymes that you can share with your patrons. So, and that concludes my presentation. And Sam, where? Oh, there she is.
There I am. I'm just hiding. A couple things that came through in the chat that I want to call out as some really nice practical tips from
Yes, please.
Clearly about half of our audience who's doing baby story times right now. One of them was kind of like Janae just had with our Rita friend and Chewy, to have a bucket of stuffed animals that you can pass out to some of those older siblings so that they have something to do with their hands as you're engaging other parents and caregivers. And then the other one that is just kind of at the bottom of the chat right now is to have a basket of books or toys or something that when a kiddo comes to try to take your stuff, you've got something ready to hand them. But then also she mentions she's got a kind of buffer zone around her own chair to make sure that babies stay away. And if she should, get really excited about the itsy bitsy spider, nobody gets an accidental nudge from the librarian, which could be quite traumatic, I imagine. So very fun things. I have a question for you, and we'll see if any other questions come through. We've got about 5 minutes left. Do you have professional singing training?
Do I have professional singing training?
Yes.
No, I took chorus in high school and I sang in my church choir when I was young. You do not have to be Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston to sing. Singing is important because they are hearing the repetition of sounds. They're hearing how words are formed and how they work. So please sing to your children, sing to your patrons. Don't just put on the video of Pink Fong's Baby Shark. No, we want to hear it from you. Your parents are coming to Storytime to hear from you. It is totally okay if you are singing off key. Babies don't care. They just love to hear your voice.
That's so true. Okay, a couple of questions from the audience. I'd like to start a baby bounce program in the fall. Do you have tips for doing story time with caregivers who watch other kids and bring 3 or 4 little ones. Some of the activities look like they're best one-on-one. So this might be like a mom who watches other kids on the street kind of thing and brings everyone to story time.
Wow. I would definitely have it. Definitely have that story time. Bring them and see how it goes. Again, you're trying it, trial and error. See how it goes with them and evaluate. Okay, is this going to work for this group? Or maybe I should scale it back. Sometimes you don't know until you're in the throes of story time. You know what I mean? When when people get there and then you're seeing their behaviors. So I say try it. Try it in the fall. Try it with that group. If it's working, great. If not, maybe you might need to reevaluate. Maybe you need to assess. Maybe there's some things I need to change.
Could also be a good example to sort of encourage, if someone's babysitting and they've got 2 6-month-olds, hand them a book to let the one kid play with. Okay, bounce the kid for this song, swap them out,
Help
bounce
them
the kid
out.
for the next one.
Absolutely. And I will say, I did have a situation where during a baby rhyme time, a baby came walking up to me and wanted me to hold them. And I asked, what if you ever have this situation where a child wants to be held for the baby bounce? Ask the caregiver if that is okay. I did that, and the mom was just like, "Oh, that's fine," But it's common courtesy to please ask before you just grab that baby, because you just want to cover your bases.
Oh, absolutely. Here's an interesting question regarding the books you pick. One book for the whole group that you're holding up front, or would you try to get multiple copies and give one to each caregiver or adult?
That's a great question. I would offer the handing out multiple copies. I know Cedar Falls had done that with their baby story time, where they would read a story, but have multiple copies available. That way, parent and baby could follow along. That's a great idea. And that way, if they wanted to check it out, they could.
Yes, absolutely. If you had enough copies. Someone else points out with the situation where someone might be bringing, like a daycare situation, someone might be bringing multiple small children. That could be, if the caregiver is comfortable with it, you could grab one of those extra kids, so to speak, for your demonstration, if it worked out again and everyone was comfortable with it.
And if you have a large daycare that is like overwhelming the story time that's intended for families, maybe you might need to split that up. Maybe have one 30-minute session, 20-minute session for the daycare, and then have your regular session for your families. Or maybe that's a situation where you go out to them.
Right. Yeah, a little outreach time. Here's a lovely testimony from Minsu, who says she uses a ukulele at baby time.
Yeah.
And she loves it because it masks her singing a little bit. So pick up that really simple instrument, and maybe you can cover up your own dulcet tones. But I'm sure it's great. Everyone loves it. And then it's an extra kind of exposure for the little kids too. So very, very fun. I think we are just about at time here. So I want to say thank you to Janae for a lovely session today. And thanks to all of you for joining us in the chat as well.
Oh, and next month for Pop YS Live for September 13th, we are going to talk about Teen-tober.
Teen-tastic Teen-tober.
Yes, Teen-tastic Teen-tober. And that is to celebrate Teen-tober through the month of October. October had Teen Read Week. It has now been replaced with Teen-tober. So I want to give you some cool things that you can do with teens to celebrate teens and teen services for Teen-tober. And that's September 13th.
Yep, I'm going to put the link into chat right now. We'd love to have you guys join us. I will take attendance from today's webinar and get that going in Iowa Learns, and you'll get a notification when your evaluation is ready for you. But thanks again to Janae. Thanks everyone for joining us. Please do join us in September as we go all the way through the 0 to 18 spectrum, and we go all the way from babies to teens. So Janae is going to have to flip the switch in her brain. No more bouncing songs. Now we're probably going to do video game programming and other things. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.